Some driver unions, precisely the Concerned and True Drivers Union, announced a 30% increase in transport fares, which is expected to take effect from next week Wednesday, September 21, 2022. This, according to the unions, is based on the current economic situation, the prices of fuel, as well as the prices of spare parts on the market. The unions have said that this is to ensure that drivers are cushioned in the current economic situation, but the Ghana Private Road Transport Union and the Ghana Road Transport Coordinating Council have described this action as unlawful.
When the moment fares are increased, it triggers off increment in almost everything. If at all somebody had increased his wares yesterday, and then we make an announcement of fare increment today, he'll go back and increase again. Is that not true? So the question is that if we want to do, we normally have to conscientize the public and take this procedure. At the end of the day, when the communique is issued, all press houses are given copies. Then you make sure when you publicize it, then the public's awareness is created. It will soften the tension, and then before we fix a deal and effect it. We are the larger group. GPRTU and then the GRTCC are the larger group. And then we are the sole body for the determination of fare increment. And because we are much more aware that our actions leads to trigger off most of the increment in all the general issues that affect the country, we are cautious. We normally have to make sure we have a good reason to make the first step and move to the second step until the fares are effected.
Because 20% increase in transport fare is not a joke. Because to increase 30%, it's not a joke. How do you expect a traveler to survive or your business to survive when at one city you increase your fares by 30%? It's not something that we can encourage. We as an industry, we look at the larger interests of the industry than looking at what goes into our pocket immediately. Because we are dealing with other players who are not necessarily, rich people in quotes. We are dealing with the small income group and all that. Now we can't do everything booga booga and think we'll survive. We think it's not right, so the public should disregard it.
This is the old Tema station in Accra, close to the Registrar General's department, and we would want to get in touch with some of these drivers, find out what they make of the proposed increment in transport fares by the Concerned and True Drivers Union and what exactly the situation is on the ground.
I may say it's justified, in some way, because during the past times, the fuel situation favors more than how it is now. Because of the increment now, these little cars, 13, 15, 11 passenger car, formerly about 200 cedis, you fill your gap. But now about 1,000 before you can fill. And because of these things, increment of transportation and other things, passengers are not moving just like that.
So do you mean that you've seen a reduction in the number of passengers you mostly get?
That's true. And I'm sure about what I'm saying. There's a reduction. I'm under the GPRTU until my executive or the leadership say increase, I cannot increase. But if they did not increase, it affects a whole lot. Only Peki station, who can load 2 cars or 3 cars a day, then what are we doing? We are running at loss.
We can say that we have to increase it because we are facing the problem. We are on the road. Diesel matter is the problem. So far as they increase the diesel, the car owners too, they increase their fare. And if you don't take time, if you don't get your fare, your sales, then they take your car from you. So because of that, we make it that we should make it so that you can be surviving. That's why they say that they will increase it by 30%. Go to this Abosokai now. This part, the part that, especially let's take it Thai. The way you buy it yesterday, today it will not be so. You see, so there are so many things whereby our drivers attach to the fare matter, and then they like to increase it like that way. So I mean that though we the drivers there, we are that our own is right, but we don't have anything from our top men yet.
We've moved actually from the old Tema Station to Tema Station proper to also engage some commuters on the proposed 30% increment in transport fares, which is expected to take effect from next week. How is this going to impact on commuters?
Edwani boy din bibia boy din afensu transport nsu bo nsu kwa akoye din ni kirese transport enu na ekofa edwani ne bre nti ye sa edwani nsu beko hai ye ntumi ntobio nti ye sra aban no nhwe eho sa eho position nhwe maye no nti petrol ni so kaka mo mu se na be ya ye nsu ye kwa akoto edwani e be ye fofofo kakra maye. Yes,
no, cause almost chiro, no best
almost chiro, petrol ni boy din. And this almost 5 being can one, almost we sales. Enti na aba ni sa, enti aba hu no nhwe bien ye bribi wo petrol ni hu maye. Pa ni cho.
You know, ye da. Won sam betum de. Ye ni nje. E pese won ti so bon. Some fu asuma uma na muso mati we no lolly fen so ombesa tumu de no de enye
omo driver for no bi no omo so say ahokyere aba o so omo tumi na omo so eho ehenhan omo
omo tum mama o so omo so tum say ti stu ama uma o say omo ti lolly fen so e mai
say ente so ye omo say full price na da we
omo nte so de o say omo so tum
omo ya adwen so For some drivers and commuters in Accra, the proposed increase in transport fares from next week by some driver unions is justified. However, considering the current economic situation, they would appeal to the government to act in order for these drivers to also feel a bit relieved to rescind their decision. Reporting from Tema Station, my name is Ni Ayikwe Okain for Citi News.